I'm usually very late on things like this, but there's been like literally no news for the past half year to a year, like seriously nothing. I've been running on fumes for a while now. But then out of the blue, we get Paper Mario the Origami King. Nintendo just puts out a trailer at a random time with no context. Hey, here's a Paper Mario trailer for you. Have a nice Friday. Maybe I'm not stressing just how weird this is. Like, when I first saw it, I thought it was one of those fake announcements from people pretending to be Nintendo. In any case, it's here now, apparently, and there are so many questions here to unload. What's this game gonna be like? Will it be any good? Why is Nintendo announcing this in such a weird way? Will there be other games this year after all? I'm sorry I'm posing all these questions right now. It's just that I don't usually do videos where I talk about a topic in general, so I'm trying to justify it to myself by making it seem like I'm answering a question. Hello all 2,350 of you, I'm Redkwan, and Paper Mario the Origami King exists now, apparently. So what do I think of this? I'm sure you don't care, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Well, I actually think it looks really good. If we're just looking at the trailer, it seems like there are plenty of interesting characters, a bunch of weird new environments, and a very unique story. I think all that stuff looks really well done in the trailer, and obviously the visuals look really good too. This is very rare for me, but here, I'll say it. I think I'm actually going to buy this game. I know, it's very shocking. Everything they've shown looks really good to me, and I do like the Paper Mario games quite a bit. There definitely are some concerns, and I will get to them, don't you worry about that. But first, I just want to talk about all the good stuff. The thing that impressed me most were the new areas. We've got that crazy disco Taj Mahal looking thing, Egyptian ruins, and this natural rocky park area, which is probably the least exciting thing to talk about in the whole trailer, but it's still very cool and unique. Paper Mario's always been about these wacky areas, so I'm glad they have such cool ones this go around. We also see a storyline with what seems to be a bit darker of a tone. I mean, it's still rated E for everyone, but it seems to be at least a little more serious than Color Splash. Like, I'll play both beginnings of the trailers for comparison.
One dark and stormy night, Mario receives a mysterious letter. That's no letter. It's a color-drained toad! Who would do such a thing? Mario and company trace the letter back to Prism Island, only to find the island's been invaded by dastardly paint thieves. That's your cue, Mario!
See what I'm getting at here? I always forget how bad the Color Splash trailer is. It's really bad. Also, it looks like there are some interesting characters at least. Maybe not as many as the first two games, but it seems like an improvement at least in terms of new people we haven't seen before. So all that looks good, and like I said, I do think I'll actually buy it, which I basically never do, even though I have a YouTube channel about video games. But there are still some things that are a bit concerning, both with the game itself and with Nintendo, because like I've been saying for half the video, this announcement was just really weird. So in terms of the game itself, there's of course the concern that it'll be too close to Sticker Star and Color Splash. I know some people actually didn't mind Color Splash, but in general, it's not really what Paper Mario fans wanted. And the two main complaints were with the battle system and with the lack of partners. And I don't think either of those two concerns were totally addressed in the trailer. We see some sort of battle system that isn't the Thousand Year Door or original style, but it also doesn't seem to be like Color Splash either. To me at least, it seems like it's its own thing, and that means the results could go either way. Either it's really good and people think it's a fair substitute for the older games, or it's going to be another annoying system that's too experimental for its own good. And yes, I'm sure someone will be mad that it isn't just like the Thousand Year Door, even if it's good. But I think this system looks snappy and interesting, at the very least. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think the Thousand Year Door system is all that mind-blowing. It's simple and effective, but it's nothing too crazy. And I don't think there's a real problem with changing it, as long as the replacement is also simple and effective. But in any case, I think this new battle setup is interesting in concept, although we'd have to see a lot more before we could really say how good it is. Or we can just wait for GameXplain to do an hour-long video on the trailer, but it could be hours before that happens. And as for the partners, I also think it's really hard to say at this point. And a lot of things seem a little conflicting. So Mario at least has a main partner, the origami yellow girl Olivia, so that seems a little bit like Huey from Color Splash. But then we also see Mario walking around with Bowser in square form. We also see Mario talking to a cool Bob-omb at one point. He also seems to be followed by a Magic Koopa and an adventuring Toad at some points, Maybe that's a good sign, although it is really hard to say, because we also see Mario running around by himself at points, and these guys all look like they're standard versions instead of a unique version of their kind of species, like in the first 2 games. Also, the website says, join Mario and his new partner Olivia as they team up with unlikely allies like Bowser and the Toads, which doesn't make it sound like you'll have traditional partners. Honestly, I think it'll be something of an in-between. It won't be as good as the fans of the old games would want, but it will be a step up from the past games. In fact, that's probably what I'd say for both the battle system and the partner situation. I just hope there's some variety in the characters, and again, I think we'll just have to wait and see. One thing that's really strange to me though, much more than the game itself, is the announcement of it. Why would Nintendo announce this with no warning, 2 months before it comes out? Why wouldn't they have put this in the Direct Mini a couple months ago? And this is also a bit of a concern for me. Maybe it's just that things have been thrown off kilter with the situation right now, but it does make you wonder a little bit. Did Nintendo wait this long because they don't think the game is going to be very good? This sort of announcement seems like the way they'd announce something that they weren't especially excited about. You know, like, hey, here's the thing we've been working on or something. You can get it in a couple months if you want, but it's whatever. I mean, obviously they want you to buy it, but it doesn't seem like they're going to really try to sell you on it. There's basically no time between now and July for Nintendo to show more gameplay or promote it, and even with this trailer, between the 30 seconds of story at the beginning and 30 seconds of logo at the end, we only got about a minute of actual game shown. I think it looks really good from the trailer, but it does make you wonder if Nintendo only showed us the 60 seconds of trailer that they thought we would respond well to, and that the rest of the game isn't so interesting. Maybe they purposely made this all really vague. It's probably for some other reason, but if you want a reason to be skeptical, then there you go. And this isn't directly related to Paper Mario, but is Nintendo revealing games like this now? Because I really don't like it. I know, it gives it a surprise factor, but it's super annoying to not be there when something's announced, and then hear people talking about it before you see it yourself. Like, you know how many people probably still haven't heard that this is happening? That's annoying. I like to be a part of things, Nintendo. Give me a heads up next time or something. If you drop a Pikmin 4 trailer, and I don't see it immediatamente, and I have to hear about it from Hylian Elf Gaming, I'm gonna sue you! Big time! Don't think I won't! Anyways, back to Paper Mario the Origami King. This doesn't happen very often, but I'm actually pretty excited for this game. I'm skeptical, of course, and I just want to make it clear that I am not in favor of this system of announcing major games, Nintendo, but from what they showed us, it does look really promising. As long as the gameplay is fun and the story and characters are funny and interesting, I think it's going to be a really fun game. Also, that clip of the Cheep Cheep flying out of the water is glorious, and anyone who says otherwise is objectively wrong. Well, I'm Redkwan. How do you feel about Paper Mario the Origami King? Do you think Paper Mario is heading in the right direction, or does it not look 1000-year Dory enough to you? The N64 one is better though. Yep, I just went there. Now if you don't mind, I'm gonna head out and watch that Cheep Cheep jumping clip another 15 times. Anyways, I'm Redkwan, thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.